But I think from the governing body, the main thrust that we had was on culture or the mindset that we're cultivating, and that had to begin from day one. So it's not about just the education, what they're learning. It's about how we're raising the children, right? Are they caring? Are they taking the proper leadership actions? Are they being responsible? So, that's the mindset that we try to cultivate among the different groups.
Welcome to IB Matters, a podcast for those interested in learning more about IB education. We interview teachers, students, and educational leaders around the world to learn how the International Baccalaureate Framework of Education has improved their practice and how you can use it to improve education in your school. All right. Hi, folks, and welcome back to IB Matters. And we have one returning guest, and then he's bringing with him the leader of the governing body of his school. So Rezuan Chowdhury is back, and then Ms. Rifat is here, who works with the school. They are at Smart Innovation School in Bangladesh. I'm super excited about this episode, as I was telling them off air, because we've talked to Rezuan before, and their school is actually just been authorized as a PYP school. So those of you listening who are in elementary settings and are thinking about becoming IB schools or specifically a PYP school, we're going to hear today a little bit about how they came about the decision to do this, and also, even more importantly, now that they're authorized, what comes next. So welcome back to the podcast, Rezuan, and welcome, Rifat, to be here. And why don't you say hi and maybe introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about what you do at Smart Innovation School.
So thank you, John. It's a great pleasure to be here. And my name is Rezuan Chowdhury. I'm the PYP coordinator at Smart Innovation School in Dhaka, Bangladesh. I've been in the field of education for the last 15 years, and my journey has been deeply associated with inquiry-based teaching and learning and curriculum leadership. At Smart Innovation School, I led the implementation of the IB PYP program, and my role includes, guiding the teachers and mentoring our teaching team, ensuring alignment with IB philosophy, overseeing their curriculum planning, and fostering a culture of collaboration and reflection. It has been an inspiring journey to witness our growth from building foundational understanding of the IB PYP to achieving candidacy and recently full of authorization of IB PYP.
Yeah. Again, congratulations on that. And having been someone who I helped coordinate authorizations twice, MYP and DP in my school. It's a big job, and there's a lot of things to keep balanced. So congratulations on that progress. Yes, and Ms. Rifat, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, John. Yes, so my name is Rifat Abedin, and I am working as the chairman of the governing body here. I think my first and foremost identity is that I'm a mother of 2 children.
Okay.
And both my kids are going to Smart Innovations as well, and they're in the PYP program. Apart from that, I'm also working as an executive director at an IT company. And my journey with Smart Innovations was basically through my search for a right education for my kids.
Yeah.
And that's how I met the investors. I was connected to them and everything, and they asked me whether I would like to be involved or not. And I said that would be such a good opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just not about the journey of the school, but journey for the education of my children as well, and many other children and many other parents as well.
That is such a great inspiration for your engagement. I just was yesterday talking to an experienced IB trainer, and he spoke from the viewpoint of being a father and also a grandfather of children that have gone through IB schools. So it definitely is something that when you get to know this, and as a parent and as a teacher, both, you really see the value. So I look forward to hearing more about how this is working out for you. We've referred to a Smart Innovation School. That's not a name for our many of our listeners won't know what that is. Tell us a little bit about what that is. Introduce that school.
So the inspiration behind of Smart Innovation School really began with the question: what kind of education do our children truly deserve in the today's world? And we realized that traditional models of education focused on heavily in the route of memorizing and standardized testing were no longer enough, right? So they were not preparing students to become critical thinkers, problem solvers. From that point of view, we wanted to create a school where learning is not confined to textbooks, but also driven by curiosity, inquiry, and real-world connections. A place where every child voice is valued and where diversity is embraced and where the focus is on developing the whole child intellectually, emotionally, and socially.
Mm-hmm. Well, gosh, it's pretty easy to see why you chose IB as your vehicle, because all those goals sound like they fit perfectly. From the standpoint of the governing body, why, I mean, I just said, I thought sounds pretty obvious. You'd go with PYP, but tell me, what was your thinking as you chose the PYP as a fit for your long-term vision?
So basically, the IB concept is not entirely, I mean, it's not really very popular yet in Bangladesh. We are so used to the traditional system. Like Rezuan mentioned, it's book-based. Like we all went through that system. We have
Yeah.
both certain chapters, you memorize, you learn the concepts, and then you give your assessments annually, quarterly, or whatever. But I feel that now we're dealing with, like Generation Alpha, and that's just not enough. What IBIS is not a curriculum, what I felt like when we came, when we were learning through these different curriculums and everything, it's to us, it's a philosophy, like how you're raising the child as well. It's just not the education, but how are you raising children? How are they growing up to become human beings? Are they caring? Are they taking responsibilities? Are they taking proper leadership actions? So I thought we felt from the entire like the board of investors and the governing body and everyone that this concept should be introduced into the country. And while we do have a couple of established schools already, it's yet not that popular, and it's still not reachable to many of the families. It's quite expensive.
Yeah.
So one of our goals was that we do want to establish ourselves as a good IB school. We like the PYP approval was just a first baby step.
Yep.
We still have a long journey to go. The next step would be to start off with MYP and then DP. And eventually our goal would be to make this accessible to the lesser privileged children, hopefully through maybe scholarship programs, talent hunts, and that's something we haven't chalked out the entire plan yet. But that's one of our goals, that we want to make this accessible to the lesser privileged, talented children in the society.
That's
not just to a specific class of the people who have a good earning or good living. It's just we don't want to limit ourselves to this segment.
That is a great mission. That's beautifully said. So, are you working with kind of like a relatively small cohort of students, and then as they age up, you'll hopefully be authorized as they get older?
Yeah. That's what we're aiming for.
It sounds great. It sounds like you've got people with a good vision. I work with some schools here, and one in particular I'm thinking of is a charter school here, which has done something similar. They started with a focused group of students with a certain age group, and then as they've gotten older, they in fact just got authorized or are just being authorized as a career-related program school. So that's one of the ways in which people can do this around the world. So in this journey, and I've been through this at MYP and DP, but as you went through this with the PYP, what did that look like for you? And I think Rezuan, is you probably guided, as you said, you kind of guided the school community through this.
So at Swan Innovation School, the PYPs are child-centered, inquiry-driven framework perfectly match our aspiration. It places the student at the heart of learning and allows for the development of not just academic skills, but personal, emotional, and global competencies as well. We are drawn to how the PYP values intentional mindedness. So we celebrate different international days and also celebrate the local days, national days. So the students understand the root of and value of our local context, and as well as to develop their international mindedness as well.
Yeah.
And we were drawn. We are focusing on the students' agency. Giving children to the space of asking questions. So we take the students to different places, which are related to to their unit. So, they have a more opportunity to ask questions, take ownership of their learning and see themselves as active contributors. And in our routine, we had two classes in a week, one class in a week, which is called service learning in PYP.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
the students are learning different kinds of things that they can take action. So this class is one particular day where the grade 1 to grade 5 students are sitting together and they are making different kinds of projects. So I think that is a great learning for the students, and they're really looking forward for this class so that they can learn more about the community helping stuffs.
Yeah, yeah. And that's certainly an example of one of the things that the adults in the room didn't do when they were in school, as you mentioned, kind of more traditional book learning and so on. And it wasn't really considered something to do as part of school. Maybe part of a religious group, or maybe your family group maybe did that for underprivileged, or in other areas where you might do service for your community. But that is integral to the IB, and it's certainly a part of the framework. So that's I'm good. I'm glad to hear you. So that's how you're working it in, is getting a part of the classes.
Exactly. So, student in outside of PY, they are taking also actions. Recently, they have done, before we go for academic break, summer break, and the students have collected money, and, they brought some of the dry food for our staffs, supporting staffs, and also, for the security guards, so that they can enjoy their Eid vacation. It was an Eid vacation. So
Yeah.
they brought all kind of things so that they happily use those things or have those dry food.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was one of the actions they have taken outside of the program of inquiry.
Yeah. That's good. How long have you been working at becoming authorized? Has this been a couple years, a few years? How long have you been doing that?
I joined in this school around 2 years, 9 months. And before I joined, they applied for the candidacy. That time we had only few students, so we could not get the opportunity to collect all the evidences. So I
Right.
was joined in the middle of the academic year. So and we also shifted from one area to another area. So that was on challenging. So in like 20 months after I
Yeah.
joined, in
Yeah.
20 months, we have got the authorization.
Okay, so that's pretty efficient. We generally say, you're thinking about it for a while, but then when it comes to you get the application and it's a couple years, because you have a lot to do. As if listeners have been involved in an authorization, they know it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I can just share a small story about this authorization. So
yeah,
Rezuan and his team, the team that we have on the field, they have been such a blessing for us. I can't explain in words. Like when the authorization came in, he sent me the letter over WhatsApp, and I saw it, and of course I couldn't believe it. And then I called him, and he just broke down in tears. He was
yeah.
just literally sobbing and crying. I'm
Oh,
like, oh my God. So this was the amount of emotion that like the emotional journey that he went through it.
yeah,
It was amazing. Like
yeah,
to him, I think it was like raising a child,
yeah,
getting this IB approval and going through the journey, I think, right? It was one?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, true.
Yeah. So like,
Well,
I just gave birth to a child,
yeah.
the
Well,
way he was
thanks for
just
sharing
sobbing,
that story. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. And to continue that metaphor, once you've given birth, you're not done.
You're not done. Yeah. The journey just begins.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you a little bit more about that, the support that you have to have. All of us that have worked in IB schools realize it's so critical that the leadership has your back, is supporting you. What kind of support are you creating as a governing body to help Rezuan and the rest of the team in the classrooms and so on?
I think in terms of support, like one aspect is, of course, the logistical aspect in terms of equipment, library, gadgets, and whatever. We have tried to, within our capacity, to facilitate whatever was needed.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying that it was a very grand thing that we did, but
Yeah.
within our modest beginnings, everything we did
Yeah.
try our best. But I think from the governing body, the main thrust that we had was on culture or the mindset that we're cultivating, and that had to begin from day one.
Yeah.
So it's not about just the education, what they're learning. It's about how we're raising the children, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the philosophy that they're growing up with, right? Are they caring? Are they caring about the staff, the teachers, the drivers, all the associated staff? Are they taking the proper leadership actions? Are they being responsible? So, that's the mindset that we try to cultivate among the different groups. The children, the parents, we interact with the parents regularly. It's like an open door system. We walk in, we greet the parents, we talk to them, and they feel free to talk to us anytime. We talk to the teachers. Again, one of our main motivations has been that, you have to try to be happy within your home, within your
Mm-hmm.
personal lives. And that happiness is reflected into the kids when you come into the school and, when you walk into the classrooms. So that's the sort of, mindset and the culture that we're trying to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
We have been relatively small, and this has been easier now, communicating with the parents on a one-to-one basis. But as we grow, we're now at 66 students.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
size.
so good size, yeah, within 2 years. So this has been phenomenal as well. So we have to see again how we can still maintain that level of interaction and communication within the different stakeholders, the children, the parents, the teachers, everyone. So that will remain our main focus, so that the culture and the mindset continues to grow and evolve within the proper IB philosophy.
Yeah. Boy,
Yeah.
Rezuan, with Ms. Abedin here as your governing body representative, I can see how your job is facilitated well. I love the answer. It's not the answer I expected. Quite honestly, I was like, the support. I was thinking fiscal support, this and that. But Ms. Abedin, you went straight to the way of being, the way people are in and the way they look at the world and the way their philosophy. And I think that speaks to the kind of the heartfelt way in which educators really want to deliver the best for their students, and choosing the PYP is a great way to do it, and choosing teachers and families, and working with students in a way that it shows a caring thing. We have a term, the pastoral idea, the idea
Yeah,
that
right.
you are acting as kind of as parents almost, for all these children and finding the best for them. So, thanks for that answer. And I think our listeners, if they're capturing what I'm capturing from hearing you, it's like there is a real kind of, it seems like a really great place to be. And I'm sure you'll do well with that philosophy. So getting back to nuts and bolts a little bit, as part of that 20 months or the extended time you took to get ready, there's a certain training requirement. IB is pretty firm about the kind of the ways in which the things you have to do to be a authorized IB school. What were some of the things you did for both preparing teachers and parents? I want to hear about parents in particular too. And then also, the curriculum, how do you get all the teachers kind of on the same page with some of that?
Great question. And that's a very important part of our journey, John, because implementing IBPIP is not just a curriculum shift, it's cultural transformation. To make it more meaningful and sustainable, we knew we had to prepare not just for teachers, but also for our students and parents for the new way of learning and thinking, right? So for the teachers, we had every week we have a PD session, and also the teachers they have joined Category 1 workshop. Those are new, and we have got 3-4 IB teachers, those who worked in other IB schools. In our PYP team, we have 16 teachers, and the teachers also came from different background curriculum. They were taught in other curriculum, and then newly joining IB framework and philosophy. So it was a high time for us as well as being a leader of PYP coordinator. And so it was my full plan in my mind that I have to teach them the IB philosophy, framework, and also once they are confident, will apply for the registration of Category 1 workshop. And it was easy for them because, they said whatever we have already learned, and also we started practicing in the classroom. These are all about Category 1 workshop. So it was easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
And for regarding the parents, it was not a big deal for us because parents are really supportive, and we had a lot of sessions for the parents as well, parents workshop. led by me, led by the senior teachers of our school, and also led by freelancers. So we invited one freelancer. She came from US, and she conducted a session, a week session for the parents, teachers, and students about inclusive teaching and learning, because our school is inclusive school. So we need to develop our teaching and learning about how to teach to the diverse curriculum or twice exceptional students. So parents were very happy when we had a lot of sessions on different policies. So they have given their feedback as well, and based on their feedback, we reviewed our policy as well. We had separate session on assessment policy, inclusive policy, language policy, and they have given a very good feedback. And even though the students of senior students, like grade 3, 4 students, they were also go through the policies, and they have given very good feedback as well. So it was a great of working together in 360-degree way, that everyone is collaborating and giving their wonderful ideas to review our policies. So we reviewed our policies before the authorization done. So
Yeah. Well, that's tremendous. I did some site visiting for MYP authorization, and those policies that are required sometimes get written by one person sitting in a room, and they're not supposed to be. But it sounds like you did it right, and in fact, you're bringing the parents and getting them involved, getting their feedback, so your policies really reflect the goals of the entire community, which is good. I'm guessing because you talked earlier about how this is kind of a unique, or I should say, it's a new to the parents' way of teaching. Your parents must be pretty open-minded to put their children into this situation.
Exactly. And we also we had a lot of celebration days where they are invited, and we also involved the parents in teaching and learning. Sometimes they came as a guest speakers.
Oh, good.
Students have taken the interviews, and also different units were being celebrated. If the unit is connected with the culture, tradition, celebration, that we invited the parents, one dish party, cultural days. So parents always were welcome to see our classes, to see the premises, and they also have observed how we teachers are taking classes. They also went with us in the different places when we went for unit visits. So they have seen how the students are being involved in inquiry and how they are developing their curiosity.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, really good. I mean, so it's a very much a model way of getting the parents involved. So I appreciate what you're doing and also sharing it with us. Going back to the governing body a little bit. So the learning environment. What did you have to do any changes? I know some schools literally have to add labs or add sections to their the upper schools. Was there anything that you didn't have that you needed to add, or anything you had to do to ensure that you had a learning environment that was aligned to IB philosophies?
We didn't really bring any changes. We didn't have to bring any changes, but we generally when we established the school, we had labs. We established labs. Yeah, we have an ICT lab, and then we have I think iPads. Rezuan, right? All the children have iPads in their classes. Yeah, and then we have smart TVs as well as part of this for their screens and everything. So these are the basic logistical support that were provided, and then we have to be aligned with the name as well, smart innovations. So technology is a important factor here, but then at the same time we want to make sure that technology is they're not getting carried away with it.
Right.
There has to be the right balance for the kids, because we know the negative impacts as well that the kids have. But no major changes really were brought about for the purpose of IB, but I think it was we had the basic stuff when the school was established. But I think we improved the library over right.
We have got a huge number of library books from Amazon, and also books for the teachers as well, so they can go through the teaching resources books and texts.
And sometimes just when you talk about the library, sometimes it's just a matter of broadening the collections so that you have culturally diverse authors
Yeah.
and sources, and so the students aren't hearing only from their own kind of enveloped culture. So yeah, okay, that sounds good. And then so it is an inquiry-based program. It's it's about concept-based teaching and learning, and having a plan of instruction kind of across all ages and disciplines, very transdisciplinary. So what are some of the different strategies that you have in your school and that you're looking forward to implementing as you're now an authorized school?
In our school, the students, the best thing we do in our school, we always give them, students different case studies. These are the
Yeah.
one strategy we follow from, from very early years to grade 5. So students will have a lot of case studies, so that also we focus on their thinking skills, problem
Hmm.
solving skills. So these are the one of the best things we do. And the second thing is this: we have a good number of books; those are related to the unit of inquiry. Right, and we have also e-library, RAS Plus, Reading A to Z, where the students can, the teachers can assess the students' reading skills. Based on their reading skills, we are, customize the books for the students, customize and a reading book for the students, which are also connected to the unit of inquiry. And regarding the concept-based teaching and learning in our school, we are focusing on the students' growth, how they are developing their learning through, from prior knowledge to formative assessment, the provocation or from the
Yeah.
ice-breaking session. So it is not only for the unit of inquiry, but also for the maths, English, and uh, PSP, and also in the visual art classes. And the students, they really understood how the teachers are teaching, and from the beginning, from how reveal the concept, and how the students are also assessing themselves through different kind of strategy, like self-assessment strategies, and so that they can show where they are if they have
Yeah.
any doubt. Sometimes the students are not saying that I have a doubt, but when you have give them self-assessment tasks to the students, they write their reflection that I need more time to understand the concept. So teachers are giving extra time for the students to understand the concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are the
Yeah.
best stuff we are doing.
So now your school does go through fifth grade at this point? You have fifth graders yet?
Yes, this year.
Okay.
Yes, this year we have a
Okay.
fifth grade. Last year we had not. Yeah.
So do you have plans for offering the exhibition then at the end of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This
Tell
time
me about that.
we have 6 students in our grade 5,
Yeah.
right? So what I found, John, every school are doing physical PYP exhibition, right? Face to face
Yeah.
PYP exhibition. As we have very few number of students in grade 5, so
Yeah.
this time we teachers and leaders, we thought that let's go for the online PYP exhibition. From the
Yeah.
beginning, the students will be get ready how to present their things through online, so that we can connect other schools. We're going to give a post in the social handles that our students are going to have online exhibition. So the schools, those are interested, especially the coordinators and grade 5 teachers, they will involve them. We'll connect them in the exhibition, and that will be more more exposure of different
Yeah.
cultural
Yeah.
students. Like if we invite our local schools in physical, if we arrange a physical exhibition, that will not much work. When we invite other countries' school students and they join through online, one will have one for the parents. So we'll have 2 days. The first day will be for the parents. So
Yeah.
parents and the community of our school, the PYP and MSP students, because we have students up to grade 8, and 6, 7, 8 students are following Cambridge at the moment, but in
Yeah.
future next year we're going to apply for the MYP. So
Oh, yeah.
the other grade students, they will be invited to see the exhibition on the
Yeah.
first day. And the second day, we'll connect with few schools in Asia, Europe, according to the time zone, and we'll have a collaboration of online exhibition.
Yeah, that's great. So if you would, if you have permission of the parents to do this kind of thing, would you share that with me?
Sure.
And so when the time comes, that'd be fun to, if nothing else, put a link that I could put into the podcast notes. It'll be later,
Sure.
but people look at these things are listened to years later. Some of these podcasts. So people who are listening to you now, maybe, maybe it may be happening a year from now. So That'd be great because I think it would be fun to see that, and then I would love to share it. I'm the director of the Minnesota Association. So in the state of Minnesota in the U.S., we have around 65 IB schools, and almost 30 of them are PYP. And so
Wow.
every spring we get some videos of exhibitions, and how fun would it be to have some students of your school show theirs to some of our kids and maybe back and
Yeah.
forth a little. So if you ever want to do something like that, I can help facilitate that. That would be fun.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. We'll
Yeah.
invite you as well,
Oh,
and you
I'd
can be
love to. Yeah.
one of the mentor.
Yeah.
We have a plan for each student. There will one mentor,
Yeah.
international mentor, and local mentors. So that will be, that's our plan. And
Yeah.
these students, those are in grade 5. 2 years back, when they're in grade 3, they had one collaboration,
Yeah.
a school in US, and it was about a project of SDG, Sustainable Development Goal,
Yep.
and where they were exploring goal number 4, and there was a school in US, and they were the grade 9, the MYP 4. They are also exploring the same goal. So
Oh,
they had a roundtable discussion. They presented how they have research and investigate that goal. And it was great. Here, Rifat, my son, was there, and
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
all the parents were said, "Grade 3 students going to collaboration with grade 9."
I
I
know
said,
it.
"Yeah."
That's
Uh,
amazing. And how cool is that? And that is one of the coolest things, because my experience in talking with people from around the world for this podcast is to
Yeah.
hear the similarities. The sustainable development goals are a big thing, even though it's not technically IB, it is used by IB schools all around the world. And we're doing the same things with a similar mission, the same mission, but in our
exactly.
own culture, and it just works so well.
Yeah.
Um,
If
yeah, go
if
ahead.
I may just add to that, because like my son was doing that collaboration, and I was overseeing the communication that we were having, and it's just not about like learning about the SDG and things like that. It's also about like seeing students from a different country, the different skin colors, the different school environment, classroom
Mhm.
environment, and then they were asking like, "What's your favorite food?"
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And then the kids from this side were saying pizza, and everyone was surprised, like pizza in this part of the world as well. So these small
Yeah.
things also add up a lot to their personal growth as well, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, finally, you were telling me, or you noted that you hosted a best practices session. Were you hosting other schools, or was this something you had within your school?
It was a global connections, a global collaboration. So,
Okay.
and the best thing is this: there is cost is zero.
Yeah.
I posted it was in my middle of the night. It was in my mind to post something in the LinkedIn. Is there anyone interested to go for collaboration? Because before authorization, for 3 to 4 months back of authorization visit, a few new teachers have joined in our school, like a PSP teacher and visual art teacher. So I had a plan to to give them more exposure of IB philosophy and framework. So I posted on a social handle, LinkedIn and Facebook, that is there anyone who is interested to conduct some of the session on different topics. So I sit with the senior teachers, and we have selected some of the topics like inquiry-based, project-based, play-based, well-being, all those things. So it's not like a workshop. It is like a showing the best practices. So
Yeah.
the teachers, those the leaders, those who have joined from, some of them joined from Germany, Turkey, India, Pakistan, so Nepal, and like 8 countries. Teachers, leaders, basically, they are PYP coordinators, most of them. They presented their best practice on their selected topic.
Yeah.
And 3 teachers from our school, they are senior teachers, so they also presented. One is project-based visual art teacher. She's new, but she presented one, how the visual art, how students are inquiring in the visual art class. So everyone, 200 plus people have joined, educators joined from different countries, around 15 to 20 countries. And
Oh,
it was a day long session from morning 9 to evening 3 p.m. So it was a great thing that's educators around the world, around 200 plus educators, they
wow.
learn in free of cost,
Yeah.
how the things are being practiced. So teachers have shown their evidences in their slides. So how they are practicing project-based teaching and learning, and how my school teachers are, learning project-based teaching and learning. So they can compare that, are they in the right track or not? So
Yeah.
that was in my motive to, teach all the teachers, educators involving in the best practices, so that everyone get benefited without paying anything.
Yeah, good for you. And it just came into your head one day. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that again going back to what an amazing world we live in? The technological tools that we have really allow us to do some of those things. And as I said before, because we have a global framework, we can speak the same language. No matter where we are. I really, like I said at the top, I'm really happy that we had a chance to talk and have a chance to talk about this. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Any concerns about the upcoming year as you're, kind of going in now as a fully authorized school? Any greatest things you're maybe concerned about, or the greatest things you're excited about? I want to make sure you have a chance to kind of share that with folks before we sign off.
Okay, so regarding after authorization, so we are ready because the teachers are already understand the IB philosophy and framework, and it is continuous professional development session held them recently. This week I have conducted 2 sessions. One is UDL, Universal Design Learning, and also solo taxonomy. So that will also help them to think in different way. We'll have our school going to have give a opportunity to the teachers to register for the category 2 workshop for the teachers. Different teachers will have different topics like mathematics, language, all those things, inquiry and project based learning. So that is the thing. We have a target for our teachers, our team, and admission is going on. So last year we had only 32 students in PYP. This year we have around 50 students. So still admission is going. So we hope we'll have more students. Last year we had only 5 to 6 students in each grade. Now number of students are more gradually increased. So that is a great way for the teachers. Teachers want to have a full of students in the classroom.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Can have more group work, pair work, right? So
Yeah, it's always, there's a certain kind of sweet spot where you have enough kids to kind of get I think of that with adult groups. When I do IB trainings, if there's only 6 in the room, it's a different environment than when there's a dozen, when there's 12 or more. So yeah, no, but I mean, I think in many ways, as you probably are experiencing it helps in some ways to be at a certain scale, and then you are ready to ramp it up as you learn your skills and all that. Well, thanks for sharing all this. Any final thoughts from either of you?
Final thoughts. Well, I think that it's sort of like, you've just gotten the throne on your head. Now it's about maintaining that throne so that it's not snatched away. So yeah, I think lots of challenges. The journey has just begun. We're still small. We want to expand. We've acquired land as well. We've designed the new building. We have the architectural design for the new building, but that's something we need more students for that if we start into development and everything. So big dreams, long journey. We hope that, I'm sure there'll be a lot of challenges, but we look forward to facing those challenges as well. Yeah.
It's very
excited.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. It's an inspiring story to me, and I'm sure to the listeners too.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting us. That's my 5th IB, a podcast with John.
Is it 5? Is it 5? Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was 5. So, there's a famous television show, a comedy show in the United States called Saturday Night Live, SNL.
Yeah.
And so they have a 5 timers club where you actually get a jacket. You wear a jacket, So I'm going to need to send you something with IB Matters on it or something for you. 5 timers club. That's amazing.
You should invite John over to this part of the world so you can see how the IB culture is here as well.
Yeah, we need to get over to Bangladesh and check that out. Thank you both for being here today. And your story is inspirational to me, and I'm sure it's going to be to our listeners. And it's so exciting to hear kind of how a school that does it very well gets started doing the IB and the PYP in particular. And I think our listeners can hear in your experience and your voices that you're on a great track to continue success.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having us.
Please check out the show notes for links to connect with Rezuan on LinkedIn and Facebook about all things PYP. There's also a link in the notes to directly text us with comments, suggestions, or to let us know that you'd like to appear on a future episode of IB Matters. We now have over 135 IB Matters episodes covering a wide range of subjects. To help you find topics of interest to you, use our podcast webpage linked in the notes. Join our over 4,000 followers on X at MattersIB. Also help us spread the word about IB by liking, sharing, and reviewing the IB Matters links in your own feeds and social networks. In our time on the air, we've been heard in 180 countries, a testament to the global reach of the IB.